want to talk a little bit about the workshop Impressionable Tiles. It's a little bit of a sleeper right now. When I first opened up evbstudioHOME on Ning, I put a few things up for free because I figured some of you might need a little prodding to know that touching clay is a good thing. And this was one of those things. This was up free for a little while, and it has since closed as a free class and opened up as a pay class, but it's only a $10 class, so it's a pretty inexpensive class. And it's really an exciting one, and it's really an easy one, totally beginner worthy. If you never ever touched clay before in your life, you never even looked at it, this is such a cool little project to do. And I first did this project with a bunch of kids through the Denver DA office that were all working off fines that they had gotten for things like tagging and vandalism and probably theft and things like that, where they were sent to court and given a fine, and they have to pay these fines off. And so one of the programs that Denver does is this Denver DA Arts program, and the kids work with different artists in the community, and then the things that they make all go for sale, and the sales generate the funds to pay their fines off. So I thought it would be kind of cool to take a bunch of little taggers and vandalizers and set them out on the streets to make some art, but where we're not going to hurt anything. So that's kind of where this whole project developed. Now granted, I'm in a city situation, and you may not be, but I encourage you to look around and check it out. So we use things on the sidewalk like manhole covers and cement markings, like this says part of the word cement. This is also another impression from the sidewalk. So this is just in the concrete. When they lay the sidewalk, they lay the cement down. They have a stamp that says what company did the cement work. That's what this is. Let's see. Whoops. This is top for a water main, a water pipe. This is another little manhole type of cover. I think it's for electric. And so what we did was we went out to the street with slabs of clay and little brooms, and we brushed all the dirt off, and then we rolled with a rolling pin our clay over the top of manhole covers, of cracks in the sidewalk, of impressions that were put in, markers that were put in on cement. And so it's just making impressions of your environment. Another little series that we did with these two, and unfortunately I don't have any examples, but the PDF that's on this class shows them, just cracks in the sidewalk. If you roll over cracks in the sidewalk and then you kind of look at those, you can interpret them into beautiful landscapes. Little tiny little cracks that look like lightning strikes on mountains and buttes and desert and water, and you can get all different kinds of interpretations just from a little 4x6 section of sidewalk that has some cracks in it. So that's what this class is about. It's about going outside or going looking even inside and looking at textures that are on the ground. We're walking on it all the time, and just lifting those. It's kind of like doing etchings off of tombstones, where, you know, people would go with a piece of paper and some graphite, and you kind of rub over a tombstone, and so where the imagery or text is, that shows up because it's a depression. Well, what we're doing is pressing clay, and we're picking a print up three-dimensionally and creating these really cool tiles. So you can use them just to sit on a table. A lot of times when I do tiles, I just find these are little spools of thread that you can buy at the hobby store for doing silly little crafty things, you know, probably sitting a little mouse on top of it or something. I just glue them on so they're a spacer, so they make this stick out from the wall, and then just tie a wire, and so then there's a nice little wall piece. So it's a bit of a sleeper class. I don't think people are really looking at it, and I'm hoping if you see the video, you'll look into it a little bit more. It's a really fun class. So you can use air dry clay, you can use fired clay. You're going to roll out a slab, you're going to impress it into whatever surface it is that you want to pick up, and take it back in, clean it up. Again, there's, you know, a really good PDF that walks you through every step from, like, you know, scoping out your site, cleaning it off, doing your slabs, and then you can come in and trim them, and you can have some really cool really cool little tiles, trivets that you can use for a number of different things. I paint mine with acrylics when I'm done, like I do everything. So again, an easy way to finish it, just let that air dry clay air dry for several days to a week or more. Fired clay, you need to get it to a kiln, get it fired. And then after you get it back home, you can just paint it with acrylic paints or colored pencils or whatever it is you typically use, whatever kind of medium, try it out on clay. So check this class out, it's only 10 bucks. You could probably make a bunch of tiles just in one afternoon, or you could, set yourself up where you do it one day a week or whatever. Again, like any of the other classes, once you take it, you've got that info, print those PDFs out, give yourself a little clay project book. If you're a teacher, there's a class. So check them out and take a class and try the Impressionable tiles. They're really cool. I like looking at these too. From pressing them in, they go backwards, and I always feel like I'm underground looking at the top. So it's really cool. Check it out. Thanks.